Hello, thank you for taking a look at this video. I posted this video because our Alberta watersheds are under threat and they need our help. Before diving into this topic, I'll just make a brief shout out to my brother for this painting behind me. This is one of my favorite places in the foothills of southern Alberta. In the late 1960s, singer-songwriter John Prine wrote the song Paradise as a protest against the devastation caused by coal mining in Kentucky. As you may have heard in recent news, Alberta's government has been inviting Australian coal companies to turn our eastern slopes into another Kentucky. If you have difficulty seeing how this affects you, it all boils down to one word: water. Almost all the water in Alberta south of the Peace River is provided to us by the mountains and foothills of Alberta's eastern slopes. We drink this water, wash in this water, and nurture our gardens with it. Much of our food production, vegetables, livestock, poultry, etc., depend on clean water that is sourced from our eastern slopes. Now this clean water, which nurtures us, is under threat from coal mining. Active coal minings already exist in the Hinton area, and in the Crow's Nest Pass area, the Grassy Mountain Mine is awaiting federal government approval. The circled areas on this map show where coal companies are actively exploring in anticipation of the Alberta government lifting restrictions on developing strip mines. Almost all watersheds in the eastern slopes are at risk. Coal strip mining is messy business. The mountains are torn to pieces to get at the coal, and all of that overburden is dumped into the nearest valley. Obviously, coal mining has long-term surface effects, landscape scale disruption, wildlife displacement, etc. It is really ugly. Not so obvious is a serious and far-reaching effect of coal mining. This is the leaching of nasty chemicals from the dug-up and crushed overburden. As water percolates down through the crushed rock, it picks up selenium, arsenic, and other nasties. This contaminated water will find its way into streams and rivers. Then, after it has killed or deformed the fish, it will make its way to us, either through our taps or through the food we eat. Most coal mines have or will have this problem. I encourage you to Google Teck Resources selenium pollution in BC. Spoiler alert, don't drink the water in Sparwood or eat fish from Lake Koocanusa. Selenium leaching is a slow motion disaster. It may take 5 or 10 or more years to become a noticeable problem. However, once there is a problem, there is no fix. The leaching will continue for hundreds of years, long after the coal mine has been abandoned. Coal companies claim that new technology enables them to avoid disasters like we see in BC. Does it sound right to you that they will experiment with new, unproven technology in the headwaters where your drinking water comes from? If the new technology fails, your great-grandchildren and even their great-grandchildren may not be able to access the clean water that we enjoy today. We are at a fork in the road. The Alberta government is in the process of changing the coal policy that kept our watersheds safe from coal mining for the past 40 years. They are also lobbying the federal government to give the proposed Grassy Mountain Mine the green light to proceed. Please make your voices heard. Tell the Alberta and federal governments that you want clean water for yourself, your children, and their children. Tell them that coal mining should be banned from the eastern slopes of Alberta. At the end of this video, I've included some links to websites where you can find more information and petitions to sign. Also, I have included a sample letter you can use as is or alter it to fit your needs. Email or snail mail will get your letters to the government. And please spread this urgent message to your friends and other Albertans. Thank you so much for listening to this rant. Please help defend Alberta's eastern slopes and the watersheds that we all depend on. Now to John Prine's song Paradise. I've changed a few of the words to fit our present Alberta situation. I don't think John would mind. would travel through the Alberta foothills, the Rockies east slope. We would scramble up mountains and play in the rivers, fond memories of fresh air, of fun and of hope. So Daddy, won't you take me to the eastern slopes country, by the Rockies' clear rivers where paradise lay? Well, I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Australian coal miners have hauled it away. Well, sometimes we'd walk miles alongside a river to fish in the clear stream, the water's so pure. The pine trees, the clean air, and mountains, they soothed us, and nature and solitude provided the cure. So Daddy, won't you take me to the eastern slopes country, to fish in the rivers and breathe the clean air? Well, I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. The waters are poisoned from coal mining there. Then the coal company came with the world's largest shovel. They tortured the timber and stripped all the land. They dug for the coal till the land was forsaken, then wrote it all down as the progress of man. So Daddy, won't you take me to the eastern slopes country, by the Rockies' clear rivers where paradise lay? Well, I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Australian coal miners have hauled it away. So Daddy, won't you take me to the eastern slopes country, to fish in the rivers and breathe the clean air? Well, I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. The waters are poisoned from coal mining there.
Sylvia, first of all, thanks so much for taking some time and chatting with us today.
Listen, children, to a story that was written long ago about a kingdom on a mountain and the valley far below. On the mountain was the treasure buried deep beneath the stone, and the valley people swore they'd have it for their very own. Go ahead and hate your neighbor, go ahead and cheat a friend. Do it in the name of heaven, you can justify it in the end. There won't be any trumpets blowing come the judgment day, on the bloody morning after. One tin soldier rides away. So the people of the valley sent a message up the hill, asking for the buried treasure, tons of gold for which they'd kill. Came an answer from the kingdom, with our brothers we will share all the secrets of our mountain, all the riches buried there. Now the valley cried with anger, mount your horses, draw your sword, and they killed the mountain people, so they won their just reward. Now they stood beside the treasure on the mountain, dark and red, turned the stone and looked beneath it. Peace on earth was all it said. Go ahead, hate your neighbor, go ahead and cheat a friend. Do it in the name of heaven, you can justify it in the end. There won't be any trumpets blowing, come the judgment day, on the bloody morning after. One tin soldier rides away. Go ahead and hate your neighbor, go ahead and cheat a friend. Do it in the name of heaven, you can justify it in the end. There won't be any trumpets blowing, come the judgment day, on the bloody morning after. One tin soldier rides away.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to show number 4, the Protect Alberta's Rockies and Headwaters concert series.
Yes, very excited about tonight.
I'm Jeremy. This
I'm-
is Wendy. We're from The Groovener. If you've watched a few shows, you might know who we are. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. The Groovener. We just got these cool shirts with our sponsors.
It's going to be a mix of great music and activism and some information.
Yes, to oppose coal mining in the Alberta Rockies and Headwaters. When we first started, we thought it would be a good thing just to get the coal policy reinstated that the UCP quietly took out last year. Turns out that's not enough, not even close.
They're still trying to go ahead.
Yeah, they are.
But there's lots of good news this week. So just today in Calgary was a march from the Niitsitapi people organized a march. No coal mines on Niitsitapi land. It was very well attended. I will post some links so that you can see some footage of that. There was also good news on the money front, right, Jeremy?
Oh, yes. So one of the 4 Australian coal companies that have the leases and are pursuing this is called Atrium Coal. Its trading was suspended. It's a penny share on the Australian Stock Exchange. And when they did reinstate the coal policy back before our first show on February 13th, so they must have reinstated a couple days before that, trying to, trick people into thinking that things were okay, which not. Anyways, trading in those shares got suspended, and they just restarted this week. And as soon as the trading resumed, they lost 3/4 of their value because they don't know what's going to happen. We do. We're going to stop them. They don't for sure know that, but they're pretty sure we are. So they've lost a lot of their capitalization, and they will have a hard time raising money. And that's only one.
And didn't you say they've stopped? They stopped doing.
Oh yeah, they stopped doing all of the work. They're just doing the bare bare minimum they have to. They're trying to save all the money that they have right now because I think they believe we're going to win.
All right, so more later in the show.
Yes.
We will pepper the show with tidbits.
At any rate, let us get to an important part. We'll do a quick land acknowledgement for Alberta. These mines will take place in Treaty 6 and Treaty 7 territory. So we acknowledge the traditional land on which Albertans reside today is in Treaty 6 and 7 territory, also Treaty 8, but we're talking about Treaty 7 right now. We would like to talk about the diverse Indigenous peoples whose ancestors' footsteps have marked this territory for centuries, such as Mehea, the Cree, the Dene, the Anishinaabe, Saulteaux, the Nakota Sioux, Nakota Sioux Stoney, and the Niitsitapi Blackfoot people. We also acknowledge this as, wait, before I go ahead, that's just Treaty 6. Treaty 7 includes the Siksika people, the Kainai people, the Piikani people, the Stoney Nakoda, and the Tsuut'ina. We also acknowledge this as the Métis homeland and the home of the largest concentration of Inuit people south of the 60th parallel. It's a welcoming place for all people who come from around the world to share Alberta as a home. Together, we call upon all of our collective, honored traditions and spirits to work in building a great province for today and for future generations with clean water.
And as Mayor Iveson in Edmonton often reminds people at city council meetings, we are all treaty people. And as treaty people, it's our responsibility to make sure that all peoples are recognized in the process, and that is not happening right now. So
no, the process is not being respected at all. And that's not a new thing, but it's something that has to change. And I think any reasonable person recognizes that. They realize that the process has been wrong in the past, and that we have to do better now and in the future. So hopefully we can start. With that, let's get to some music. Our first performer today is Gabriel Tain. Let me cue him up. Where are you, Gabriel? There you are. All right, here we go. Gabriel Tain.
All right, welcome everybody. Hello. My name is Gabriel Tain. I grew up in southern Alberta, still live here. I love this area. I love the mountains. But I'm not going to talk too much at you right now. I'm just going to sing a couple songs for you. This one seemed appropriate. I belong to the mountain, I belong to the sea, I belong to the wind that carries me. Well, I belong to the mountain, I belong to the sea, I belong to the wind that carries me. I belong to the wilderness, I belong to the trees, I belong to the sun that shines on me. Let the ocean wash away all the doubts of yesterday. Let the ocean wash away all the doubts of yesterday. I belong to the mountain, I belong to the sea, I belong to the wind that carries me. I belong to the wilderness, I belong to the trees, I belong to the sun that shines on me. Let the ocean wash away all the doubts of yesterday. Let the ocean wash away all the doubts of yesterday. Let the ocean wash away all the doubts of yesterday. Here we go. All right. Well, that one I wrote about a year ago, but like I said, it seemed appropriate for the times. Like I said, I love this area. I love the mountains. I want to add my voice and say, let's not build another mine. Now I'm going to play a song that doesn't have much to do with that. Just more of a love song. A little old-fashioned country love song. I guess you'll notice that I was putting up some pictures instead of, just having you look at me the whole time. So you're welcome. I got a face for radio, so what can I say? I woke up Sunday morning with no place left to be, when a memory I'd been storing starts to make its way back to me. Of a long ago Sunday morning, when I opened my eyes to see you. And I've been so long chasing that feeling, trying to find something true. Well, I searched low and high, I searched far and wide, I searched everywhere in view, but I'm just about done searching, 'cause I've made up my mind. I wanna wake up Sunday morning next to you. Well, I never much like a Sunday morning. Always one more way to feel blue. I didn't even know I'd been longing every day for you. Well, I searched low and high, I searched far and wide, I searched everywhere in view, but I'm just about done searching, 'cause I've made up my mind. I wanna wake up Sunday morning next to you. Well, I'm just about done searching, 'cause I've made up my mind. I wanna wake up Sunday morning next to you. Ooh, all right. Thank you for watching. Like I said, my name is Gabriel Thane. I'm excited to be a part of this. So thank you for watching. All right, here we go.
Hello. He actually recorded 3 songs, and then he felt that he went too long, so he cut out the 3rd song for us. Maybe he'll put something online later for us. I don't know, because that was fantastic. I really enjoyed his stuff.
Thanks, Gabriel Thane.
Yes.
Link to your Bandcamp.
And I liked your video, even without the pictures. You look great to me. What do I know?
Next up.
All right, next step. Colton Daisy. Are you there, Colton? There he is. Okay. Yeah. And I'm gonna. There you go. You have the floor, Colton Daisy. Who are you? Tell us, and then carry on.
For sure. Thanks. Could you enable screen sharing though? There, Jeremy?
Yeah. Sorry about that. I forgot to do that.
Oh, no worries.
There, you should have it now. Yeah.
Yep. Perfect. Thank you.
I will be quiet.
All right. So, yeah, thanks for having me on, and thanks to the committee for putting this together and asking me to give a presentation. Looking forward to all the music tonight. And thanks for the land recognition as well. I'm here in Edmonton, also on Treaty 6 territory. So my name's Colton Vesey, if you probably don't know me. I'm currently a PhD student at the University of Alberta in Edmonton in Earth and Atmospheric Sciences. I have a master's and bachelor's degree in geological sciences from the University of Saskatchewan. And I'm also a registered geoscientist in training with the Professional Engineers and Geoscientists of Saskatchewan. I specialize in a field called environmental geochemistry, and that sounds like a bit of a mouthful. So what that means, though, is I study how physical, chemical, biological, and geological processes interact in different environments, particularly in natural and mining environments, because oftentimes mining environments are very unique, and they have a lot of unique contaminant problems and are very interesting geologically, but also have larger and wider environmental implications. So with that, my goal for this presentation today was to talk a bit about what mine drainage is. What does it actually mean? Where does it come from? And its relation to coal mining. There's been lots of great talks already about different environmental aspects, more so on the biology, I would say. And there's been lots of talks about the economic implications and are these mines viable? So I'm going to stay away from that, but talk more about mine drainage. So there's many environmental implications for coal mining. And unfortunately, we've had many cases here in Canada. Most people probably know about Teck Resources in the Elk Valley and their selenium and nitrate contamination problems. And we have also have our share of problems here in Alberta. more recently, we had the Obed Mountain tailings dam failure. And even before that, we've seen some selenium contamination in the McLeod and Greg rivers associated with the Cheviot mine. So coal mining and mining in general tends to generate a mine drainage or acid rock or neutral mine drainage, depending on the pH, which is as a result of a mineral oxidation and mineral weathering. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in detail, why we see more specifics depending on the two types. But associated with that, there's often release of metals such as copper, nickel, or metalloids such as arsenic or selenium and others. And that can be environmentally hazardous and has human health implications as well. So I list the water quality guidelines in the bottom here for Alberta, and they do vary provincially and federally. And particularly note for selenium, it's 2 parts per billion, which is the same as 2 micrograms per liter. And selenium is particularly important because this is what tech is seeing and what we're kind of expecting to see potentially here in Alberta. And the limit is very low compared to other contaminants because there's a fine line between it being a trace nutrient, which everything and every organism needs to survive, and it being a contaminant or a toxin. And on the right, I show a bit of a diagram of selenium cycling, and it's quite complex. I won't go through that in too much detail, but as many of you know, there has been issues with bioaccumulation resulting in spinal deformities, facial deformities, and reproductive issues in fish and wildlife. So, but what is mine drainage? What does acid rock drainage mean? What's neutral mine drainage? And how does this relate to waste rock dumps? So pH is determined by the weathering of the waste rock dumps. So at mines, they have to remove large amounts of overburden, and the overburden is just waste material that's non-economic, and they have to get it out of the way in order to get to the ore deposit, coal, or whatever else. And once they move that, they disturb a lot of the minerals that are present and allow weathering and water to cycle, and oxygen as well. So there's 3 types of mine drainage actually, and I'll only just talk about 2 here. There's acid mine drainage, which is generally below pH of 5. And then there's neutral mine drainage, which is between pH 6 and 9. And for reference, drinking water generally ranges between pH 5 and 8. So under acidic conditions, we see more metals, heavy metals such as copper, nickel, zinc, lead, and a lot of sulfate. Whereas in neutral mining conditions, we see different types of contaminants, and they can be just as dangerous, such as arsenic and selenium or antimony, and we see a bit less sulfate. So what does that look like though? So on the left, bottom left, we have a picture of some acid mine drainage from Spain associated with heavy metal mining, not coal. And it has very vibrant colors, the orange and the yellow, and those are as a result from iron minerals. And then on the right, we have an image from the Fording River in Elk Valley. And it doesn't look that different than most streams, but there is contamination there still. And it's been described as a silent contamination or silent crisis. So what causes mine drainage? I think that's really important to understand, even at like a kind of more of a basic level. So what happens, as I described earlier, in order to mine, you have to remove the overburden, and this enhances pyrite oxidation. So pyrite is a mineral on the right here as FeS2, iron sulfide, and when you move it into and it exposes it to oxygen and water, it weathers and it releases lots of iron and sulfur. The sulfide will then oxidize to what's called sulfate, and it also releases contaminants, so nickel, copper, but also arsenic and selenium, which can substitute in for the sulfur. And you can get quite high concentrations within the pyrite itself, and that's what these are. So what about we need to consider is acid generating minerals versus the acid neutralizing minerals. And this is how we determine what kind of mine drainage we're expecting, whether it be alkaline, circuit neutral, or acid mine drainage. So as the pyrite is weathered, if there is sufficient amount of a buffering mineral, so like limestone, calcium carbonate, or dolomite, which is very abundant here in the Rocky Mountains. That will take up the H plus as the acid, and then we'll see circumneutral pH between 6 and 9. But if there is not enough buffering minerals present, then we get acid mine drainage. So why do we see all these very bright colors though? I know there's been lots of photos being shared around of this is what we might see here in Alberta, but it might not be the case. So these colors actually come from different minerals precipitating out of solution. So here's another example from Spain where there's acid runoff and then it's being intercepted by a stream. And you get a series of minerals precipitating out, and it causes this really colorful array, which we call a geochemical rainbow. And really the most important minerals that to be considered are what's called ferrihydrite and goethite. They're two very common iron minerals, and you can actually find them in most soils, even in your backyard probably. But they're very important environmentally because they actually remove a lot of contaminants at mining sites. So what about neutral mine drainage, and why aren't we expecting all these vibrant colors that we see with acid mine drainage? So here's kind of like a cross section of either a tailings pile or a waste rock pile. So you get water and oxygen moving through the waste rock pile, and then that again oxidizes the pyrite and forms iron, sulfate, and then acid. This will then kind of move down and might interact with the groundwater. A lot of the iron will actually precipitate out and form those two minerals I mentioned earlier, ferrihydrite and goethite, and those will actually stay mostly within the waste rock piles. They won't really move downstream that much. And then the acid that's generated is typically neutralized on site by interacting with the carbonate minerals like the limestone and dolomite found in the waste rock piles. But we still get transport of contaminants that aren't captured in the waste rock piles, mainly selenium and nitrate, as we see with Teck Resources. So many of you probably heard about Teck Resources and the issue in the Elk Valley. There's been mining going on there for a long time, and they've been seeing contamination issues since the 1980s in the Elk Valley and the Elk River. So they use an open pit drill and blast method. So they use what's called an ammonium nitrate fuel oil, which is actually the source of the nitrate. And then the source of the selenium and sulfate is due to pyrite oxidation, like I described in the previous slides. And some of my colleagues from the University of Saskatchewan have done a number of studies, and they've looked at the pyrite oxidation in these waste rock dumps at Teck. And they found that, and their models predicted that there may be up to 300 years of this pyrite oxidation occurring, which would release contaminants. But again, so keep that with a grain of salt, because that could be a max value. It could decrease over time naturally, and it might change with the new remediation strategies that Teck is using. But we don't know for how long, especially at this scale, how long is the pyrite oxidation going to occur in these systems, and can all the contaminants be sequestered or removed? And I'm sure a lot of you have heard a bit about saturated rock fills. It's been mentioned quite a bit here in Alberta because that's what the proposed mines are planning on using. And this is based off of Teck Resources' initial studies. Down on the bottom right here at their Elkview operations, they have a full-scale one in operation. But what is a saturated rock fill? Essentially, you have your open pit, and then you backfill it with waste rock material, and then you add contaminated water to create saturated conditions, and then they have to add nutrients, a carbon source to help the microbes grow, the naturally occurring microbes. And then it's actually the microbes that are removing the selenium and the nitrate, and they do a pretty good job of it for the most part. They've been seeing about 95% removal efficiency, depending on the site. And they have had initial success. However, there hasn't really been any long-term studies that have described its efficiency, its efficacy, and how long they have to maintain these sites for. They have done some long-term modeling, which I show down here. So this is selenium on the y-axis and then time. And the green dots are actually measured values. This might be slightly outdated now, but this is one of the more updated reports that I found. And then the lines represent predicted values into the future. Unfortunately, some of the lines, depending on the site, are still above the water quality guidelines, above 2 parts per billion. And here in particular, it's around 20, and that's still quite high. And more recently as well, Teck Resources has seen increased cobalt and nickel concentrations above water quality guidelines for cobalt, and nickel is approaching that value as well. And that's only been in the last 3 or 4 years that they've seen this. So why is the cobalt nickel now becoming an issue? Where has it been before? We would have seen it likely before because the waste rock dumps have been there for so long. Is it due to this? We're not sure if it's due to the SRFs, the saturated rock fills, or just site specific. But Teck has noted that they have seen some ecological effects because of those two elements. And then how do we close these systems? Once the mining company's gone, they have to maintain these systems for a certain amount of time in order to remove the contaminants from the water that's being pumped through them. But how long do they have to do that for? How much money will it cost? Because money is the most important issue for these and maintaining them into the future. Benga Mining Limited, for example, they estimated $20 million for approximately 20 to 25 years post-mining. But is that long enough? There isn't enough evidence out there to say that is long enough, or if that'll work. So I guess a few take-home messages. There are really big differences between acid rock drainage and neutral mine drainage. I've seen a lot of photos of people posting acid rock drainage, saying that this is what's going to happen in Alberta, but that's not quite what we expect based on the geology and what we see at Teck and what the companies have actually shown in their environmental impact assessments. I'm not saying that there's still a concern for contamination because selenium and nitrate are still concerns. And there's also other contaminants that might be an issue, such as cobalt, nickel, and potentially arsenic, because arsenic might be more favorable for in these saturated rock fills. We're not sure yet because they're so new. And it's really important to understand and study these mining environments as a whole. You need to consider water balances at larger scales, but then you also have to consider what happens at the atomic scale for these contaminants and how are they removed on site, and how will they be transported downstream potentially. And then again, how do we best decommission and close these coal mining landscapes? Because they are unique. The neutral mine drainage is not what you kind of see everywhere else. And these saturated rockfill conditions are very new. So that's another area of concern as well, despite them seeing success. And I list here a bunch of other mining considerations. I can't go through them all, and there have been many talks already that have talked about some of these aspects, but there are many, many different considerations here. And then just to kind of finish off here, I'm going to give a bit of a shout out to my field, earth sciences in general. If you like being outdoors, if you enjoy traveling to really cool places, and you're passionate about the environment, maybe have you considered studying, doing a career in earth sciences? If you haven't gone to school yet, and if you're kind of past that stage of your life, and you still want to be involved, there's always potential for you to be a volunteer citizen scientist. There's lots of universities and professors who always need help and sometimes ask for citizen scientists. And there's also nonprofits who also need more help as well. I think CPAWS and many others. And if there's any other questions, comments, or anyone would like resources, feel free to send me an email. And with that, I'd like to thank the organizers for having me on, and I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their evening. Thanks.
Thank you, Colton. People can also put questions to you in the chat if you can stick around for a bit.
You would have to go to the YouTube though, because you're on Zoom right now.
Yeah, I can answer them if you just want to ask them to me.
Sure. And maybe they can happen through the chat also. But yeah, we'll see if anyone has questions now. For sure, you can put them in the chat. We can ask them now. Good.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's good.
Are there any?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
I think for me, what comes to mind is we've been told that the government will soon be coming to us in consultation, which we should be suspect of. If they're presuming that coal mining is going to go ahead, then our answer would be just no coal mining,
Period.
But I think your presentation can help people answer. We don't know what's coming yet, but knowing what you've told us, if they try to sell us on clean coal, we have some more information.
Yeah, and there's lots of great resources out there, and I know myself and other scientists in our community are always happy to help and answer these. So.
Yeah, and is one takeaway too that there is no such thing as clean coal. The processes are very complex. So for me, it says, why don't we go in the other direction and maintain the landscape as a water purification process? It would be much better to spend our resources trying to maintain and keep that rather than trying to solve the problem of coal mining.
Yeah, and there's always long-term impacts associated with open pit mining, and the scale is never really known until the issue is there sometimes as well. So
yeah, I think one thing we were hoping to instill in people is that we just need to maintain the pressure on all levels of government that we do not want this to go ahead, and by an event like this, just take away what you want to fuel your communication. So
Yeah.
you don't have to understand all the processes, but just decide what your why is and then communicate that. You don't have to be an expert, but the other thing it tells me is that people from so many different areas are all joining in on this. So I thank you for coming here, because the more interaction we have from fields and areas that normally are separate, the better off we are. So thank you. I appreciate it.
yeah, my pleasure, and thanks for having me again. I really appreciate it.
Yes, well, thank you. Any questions come in? No questions.
You can put your email address in the chat if you want to join the YouTube after this.
Sure, no worries. That sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Colton.
All right. Thank you, Colton.
No worries.
That was great.
Good night.
All right. So, musically, let's move along to Emily Triggs has prepared something for us. All right. Here is Emily.
Hi, my name is Emily Triggs. I'd like to thank you so much for having me here to play the Protect Alberta Rockies and Headwaters concert series. This topic is really dear to my heart, and I appreciate being here. I'm actually from Montreal, but when I was 15 years old, I came out to the Rockies, and I spent an extended period of time out here. We camped along the eastern side of the Rockies and the surrounding area, and I truly fell in love with the area. And when I was 22 years old, I came back, and then I never left. I've been here ever since. So I appreciate being able to support this cause. And the first song I'm going to be singing is inspired by the southern Alberta area, and it's called Ask the Birds. Won't you say the words that I've never heard, that I've never heard from you? Won't you speak to me in that soft southern way and tell me how you feel when the wind blows steady to the north and I don't hear your voice? I will ask the birds if you might have forgot him, if they know where you are. Won't you take my hand like you've done before, like a soldier brave and tall? Won't you reach for me in that strong southern way and show me how you feel when the wind stops blowing to the north and I never hear your call. I will ask the birds if you might have forgotten, if they know if you're still with her. The hardest road that I've ever toiled is empty as is long, and I have no clue for where it leads, or what I'll lose when I am gone. So I'll stare out as it stretches on, and I'll hold a hope in hell. I will ask the birds if you might have forgotten, to show you where I am. I will ask the birds if you might have forgotten, if you might have forgotten, if you might have forgotten. All right. So I went to school in West Virginia. I went to university down there. And I was there right around the time where they had already started open pit mining in the mountains around there. And so I got to see firsthand how disastrous and destructive it was to the mountains of the area, the wildlife that lived there, and then the rivers and the waterways below it. And so it was eye-opening, and it was a time in my life where I really realized what impact gathering resources like that could do to the environment. So I really appreciate being able to support this cause, and I appreciate all the work everybody is doing within this group. And so I'm gonna sing another song. And the song is called Trouble. There's only trouble on your mind. You take that trouble, leave it behind. There's only worries in your head. You take those worries, put them to bed. There is someone that he found new. He wants another, and it's not you. He brings her roses, he brings her wine, he brings her anything she wants. Oh, it's hard. You're feeling down. You've been roughed up. You've been kicked around. Oh, it's hard. It hurts so much when you know the world is yours. All you see is rain. It's been so many years on your mind. Your wasted days searching for a sign, but you couldn't find a single clue. That's when you knew your dreams had lied to you. Oh, it's hard. You're feeling down. You've been roughed up. You've been kicked around. Oh, it's hard. It hurts so much when you know the world is yours. All you see is rain. Oh, it's hard. You're feeling down. You've been roughed up. You've been kicked today. So I'd like to thank you so much for having me. There is, for people watching, there's a donation button to support this cause, and thanks so much for having me. I'm going to do one last little quick song here. Oop. And I'll be on my way. And this song is about love, and it's about the beautiful world around us. What it means to be with you, and what you've been to me, what we've been through. If all the stars shone down on someone else, I know that I couldn't look away from you, 'cause our love is bigger than any mountain that anyone has ever climbed, and our love is stronger than any river. It grows and bends with the times, 'cause our love is our love. And how it feels right in this world we're in, and what we see as we move with the wind. If all the days with you were filled with rain, I know that I'd adore each storm we chase, 'cause our love is bigger than any mountain that anyone has ever climbed, and our love is stronger than any river. It grows and bends with the times, 'cause our love is our love. Thanks so much for having me.
Hey, everybody, we're back.
Emily Triggs,
That was fantastic.
thank you very much.
Yes, she mentioned that there's a donation button. There isn't one up on screen. We put it in the chat, though.
Yes.
Yeah, the Niitsitapi, no coal mines on Niitsitapi land, reached its goal day before yesterday, I believe. We are going to push it even farther above that. They'll take all the money they can get. They've got good uses for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, their petition was submitted this week, and we'll be hopefully listening to the MP presenting that to Parliament.
Yeah, we'll get to that after.
Yeah.
Right now, though, Jesse Roper is ready to play us some music.
Live. Our first live performer.
Am I here?
You are.
Yeah, I can hear you. Let me
good,
just,
okay.
Spotlight.
Whoa, hello.
Thanks for being here, Jesse.
No problem. My pleasure.
We just want to make sure that we got the spotlight on you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, apologize. It's a little dark in here.
No, you look good. Where are you coming from?
Oh, Machosen, BC.
Oh.
Just south of Victoria.
What are your environmental challenges there?
Oh, finding more space to garden.
You have it good then.
Yeah, in your good garden zone, you can grow everything.
Yeah. No, I've already put some bulbs in the ground. The garlic's coming up nice. The onions are just starting to get going. Yeah, that's my challenge. My challenge is not putting stuff out in the garden too early and frost hitting it.
Oh, yeah.
I do it every
You get
year.
no sympathy from prairie gardeners.
Yeah, I know.
We
I
can
went
get
golfing a little while ago,
frost
too.
in June, damn it.
All right, you gonna play us some music tonight?
Yeah, I sure am.
Okay.
Is it sounding
Alright.
good on your guys' end?
Sure is.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, cool. Just let me know if I need to make any tweaks here or whatever.
Will do.
Okay. Well, here's a spooky one to start off. You don't hear me, you don't see me, You don't know I'm ever around, walking horizons, wearing the starlight for the sky. You don't know me, you don't trust me, you don't know I'm ever around. I travel horizons, shining the moonlight in your eyes. You don't hear me, you don't see me, you don't know I'm ever around. Travel horizons in the starlight for the skies. Hey, you don't know me, you don't trust me, you don't know I'm ever around. Travel horizons, shine the moonlight in your eyes. Hey, hey. Now when I'm gone, I'm gonna stay. Living here, it just ain't my way. I'll be lonely, 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 long gone. By the break of day, by the break of day. Oh, yeah. Oh, you don't see me, you don't know I'm ever around. I travel horizons, wearing the starlight for the sky. You don't know me, you don't trust me, you don't know I'm ever around. Travel horizons, shine the moonlight in your eyes. Yeah. There's a song called Does Anybody Know? It's about me looking for my baby. She left me. In the song, anyway. Does anybody know I have the time? Does anybody know that girl of mine? Has anybody seen her? That she gone away? If anybody talked to her, please send her my way. Yeah, yeah. Na, 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 na. Now I heard she was hanging around with some other lover on this end of town. Or maybe it's a rumor, people telling a lie. Or maybe she's a nut with some other guy. Gotta know right away, 'cause I can't spend another day. Yeah, yeah. Does anybody know where my baby is? Does anybody know where my baby is? Na-na-na-na. Yeah, yeah. Na-na-na. Angel of mercy, would you come on down? See yourself beside me on my humble ground. Oh, I'm gonna ask a question, and I need you to say you're gonna bring her back to me now by the end of the day. Please, please, gotta know right away, 'cause I can't spend another day. Yeah. Does anybody know where my baby is? Does anybody know where my baby is? Oh, does anybody know where my baby is? Lord, does anybody my babies. And she was never seen again. Well, there are two wolves lurking through the back 40, waiting on me to open my door. There are two wolves lurking through the back 40, waiting on me to open my door tonight, 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 tonight. Lucy put the cable down. I see you moving in the shadows out by the bridge. Something I should tell you now. You're gonna find out anyway. On Thursday when I went to town, I met a man and real bad business went down. Think I am in trouble now. You're gonna find out anyway. There are two wolves lurking through the back 40, waiting on me, open my door. There are two wolves lurking through the back 40, waiting on me, open my door tonight, 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 tonight. Should've told you sooner. You said didn't think you'd come to this. No, no. Think I am in trouble now. And I'm sorry, you're gonna find out anyway. There are two wolves lurking through the back 40, waiting on me, open my door. There are two wolves lurking through the back 40, waiting on me to open my door. There are two wolves lurking through the back 40, waiting on me, open my door. There are two wolves lurking through the back 40, waiting on me to open my door tonight, 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 tonight. She got a hold on me. She got a hold on me. She got a hold on me. She got a grip like a vice from heart and my soul. Love the little lady till the day I'm old and dead. Gonna run. Known since the day we met. Oh, Lordy, Lordy. That was a fable, so I thought. Just a nice little children's story, and so I got caught. No one could have saved me. I couldn't let me know. The most powerful force on the world that just entered my home. I was living in denial, don't we know how? I was a man with a plan, with a mission, no one's stopping me now. And then I submitted, it all became. And from that moment on, I was never, ever the same. Oh, she got a hold on me. She got a hold on me. She got a hold on me. She got a grip like a vice on my heart and my soul. Love the little lady till the day I'm old. And they're gonna rock me. Only since the day we met. Oh yeah. Oh, all of the good times and all the bad. All of the tears and the eyes and the arguments we ever had. Knowing my beating heart, I'd do it all again. Such a nice little children's story. What a nice little children's story. Oh, I got a woman got a hold on me. I got a woman got a hold on me. Oh, I got a woman got a hold on me. I got a woman got a hold on me. Oh, I got a woman got a hold on me. I got a woman got a hold on me. I got a woman got a hold on me. Say, I got a woman got a hold. She got a hold on me. She got a hold on me. She got a hold on me. She got a grip like a vice on my heart and my soul. Love the little lady till the day I'm old. And dead gone right. Only since the day we met. She got a hold on me. She got a hold on me. She got a hold on me. She got a grip like a vice on my heart and my soul. Love the little lady till the day I'm old and dead gone right. Only since the day we met. Dead gone wrong and only since the day we met. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Here's another one. The song is. Am I done?
That was great. Holy cow.
The chat loved it.
Right on.
Oh yeah.
Should I keep going or how far?
Well, I would love to, but we probably should move on. We've got a lot. We're only on number 4 and we're already an hour in.
The hook before.
However, we'll talk later. We will talk later. Thank you so much.
Hey man, thank you.
Yeah, that was
good luck
so
on
good.
everything. I hope it all works out in our favor here.
It will. It will. They have no idea what they poked. We're gonna stop them. They think they can move mountains. We think we can keep them there.
And feeling the good groove of your music makes me know that everything's gonna be all right. So thank you for that.
Right on. Well, it's nice to see 2 smiling faces. You guys have a great night, eh?
Okay.
All right.
Thanks,
Bye,
Jesse.
Jesse.
Cheers.
Thank you. All right. Let's go. Okay. Wow. Well, to follow that up, should we go with Heather?
Sure.
Okay. Directly related to the Niitsitapi, no coal mines on Niitsitapi land. Our last concert, right before the concert, there was a petition, a federal petition sponsored by Heather McPherson that closed like an hour or two before the concert 2 weeks ago. And we got what, 18,000?
Over 18,000.
Over 18,000 people signed that. And it was introduced in the House of Parliament by our MP in Edmonton Strathcona, Heather McPherson. And we have a little bit of video about that, I think if I can find it.
I'll also post a link in the chat to Heather McPherson's Facebook page. When she shared her video, in the introduction to it, she outlines her points. And for those of you wanting to write letters, those kinds of bullet points can be really useful. And I really liked hearing this. So
yeah, I just have to
we'll find it
where it is. This, and then it's should be here. We'll close that. Close that. You people are not supposed to, don't read that stuff if you saw that.
All right.
All right.
Who grew up hiking, skiing, and playing in the Canadian Rocky Mountains, I am deeply honored to table this petition signed by over 18,000 Canadians. These Canadians are urging the Environment Minister to ensure that there is a fulsome assessment of the impacts of all proposed coal developments and exploration activities in the Rocky Mountains. In particular, the petitioners wish to see the government ensure treaty and Aboriginal rights, water quality, species at risk, and environmental impacts are assessed and adequately protected. In addition, Mr. Speaker, until the federal government does such a study on behalf of the over 18,000 Canadians who have signed this petition, I urge the minister and this government to delay a decision regarding the proposed Grassy Mountain coal project until the cumulative impacts of all mining activity in the region have been adequately considered. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
And what struck me in that petition is, unlike my settler heritage, the Indigenous impact is that they are more likely to consider all species. So it's about time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to cry, actually. So.
All right, well, while you do that, let's play some music. Oh, just a sec. Okay, that's not on. We'll go to some music. Our next musical guest is Waldo Poblano. Let me cue him up. Here he comes. Take it away, Waldo.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Waldo Poblano, coming to you from Treaty 6 territory. As someone who grew up for most of their life near the North Saskatchewan River, I think it's really easy for most of us in Alberta to take for granted the fact that we have great and easy access to clean drinking water. And it's really important for us to do all that we can to fight for and maintain access to that. So, I'm going to play a song for you tonight, a song that I wrote last summer called Nameless Smoke, a song in 3 parts about how a lot of modern society views the natural world as something that we can extract from, something that we can exploit, and a sacrificial body that we can shape and form a new concrete reality upon. So this is that song, Nameless Smoke. Hope you brought your 3D glasses. How long will the river go on washing up debris from all the years a forgotten sky is seen? When we're left with but a blight on our eyes, no cure within reach, and only tears now to offer up to the moon. To drown the whispers of doubt that swim through your ear, you'd bring to the river a drought, a turning of the gears, and lay your heart at the ruins of your pride that never stood through the years. Now set your sights up to the sky. Now set your sights up to the moon. Can you take the nameless smoke and turn it into ash? You chisel its heart there from the mountains back. You trace the road of bones all cast along your path. Slouches to the highway to be born again. Born again is glass. There's no heart beating by the side of the road. Only the veins flood horizons of a skin will never know. What use the scalpel to bleed the edges of what is old when it bleeds so freely for $1 more?
Mr. Speaker.
Can you speak to me like the second coming king? Can you twist the knife as you so softly sing? You wrap me in pestilence, promise me the spring, then trout shares to the ocean to be born again. Born is everything. There's no heart beating by the side of the road. Only the veins float horizons of a skin will never know. What use the scalpel to bleed the edges? What is old when it bleeds so freely for $1 more? We can excise from you just a knife and a spoon. You've been hiding all your riches away, trapped in that cocoon. Each body of worth will turn upon the wheel, turn every god from its tomb. You are the sacrifice once given to us, given to consume. There's no heart beating by the side of the road. Only the veins flood horizons of a skin will never know. What use the scalpel to bleed the edges? What is old when it bleeds so freely for $1 more?
Each pillar of salt is not a pillar at all. It's a vessel which man has become so enthralled in each drop that still is refusing to fall. As a drop in the bucket won't heed the call, and my cup floweth over, else I'm satisfied. My cup floweth over, I am justified. Your flesh like a stone, my flesh is the tide. Dance on the shore like some steward's sign. The soot on your cheek covers your mouth, and the prayer of your chest runs from your mouth, and the shepherd in the fumes, it runs from your mouth. Blood on the altar, it flows by the ounce all over. Yes, all over. Yes, all over.
Thanks, everyone. This has been Waldo Poblano. Thanks, Wendy and Jeremy and the Groovener, for asking me to participate in this. Hope everyone has a good night. And donate to our water protectors. Good night, everyone.
Sometimes you get hot sauce when you buy Waldo Poblano music, right, Jeremy?
Yeah, that's right. It's
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
I'm not joking, folks.
She really does. Okay.
Thanks, Waldo Poblano.
Thank you. Thank you, Waldo. Let's keep chugging along, because we are actually, for the first time, running late. Our next musical guest is somebody you may have heard of. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, I'm excited, but people don't know how excited they should be.
Okay. It's Corb Lund. Let me just cue it up here and take it away, Corb.
Just wait.
What?
Just as a quick introduction
to
this.
Yeah.
In one of our previous concerts, we had Mayor Craig Snodgrass of High River on the show, and I'll post a link to that and the time where you can see the interview or discussion with Mayor Snodgrass.
That was a good one.
It was very good, and if you're interested in what's happening at a higher level, that was very interesting. But Mayor Snodgrass credits Corb Lund with really bringing it to the forefront, because Corb Lund
when he made his first announcement, that really got the media's attention.
Yeah. So thanks, Corb. There's a lot of people who loved you and loved your music before, and there's a lot more people who appreciate you for lots of extra stuff now too.
Yeah.
So let's hear from Corb.
Well, and you probably don't know this, but you were actually sort of a neighbor to the Groovener when you lived in Edmonton. You were maybe 2 blocks away from the Groovener. Yeah. Anyways, let's take it away, Corb.
Hey folks, my name's Corb Lund, and I don't think they should be mined for coal in the Alberta Rockies, as you may know. And neither does Ian Tyson. Think I'll go out to Alberta. Weather's good there in the fall. I got some friends that I can go to working for. Still, I wish you'd change your mind if I asked you one more time. But we've been through that 100 times or more. 4 strong winds that blow lonely, 7 seas that run high, all those things that don't change, come what may. Well, our good times are all gone, and I'm bound for moving on. I'll look for you if I'm ever back this way. If I get there before the snow flies, and if things are looking good, you can meet me if I send you out the fair. But by then it would be winter, nothing much for you to do, and those winds sure blow cold way out there. 4 strong winds that blow lonely, 7 seas that run high, all those things that don't change, come what may. Well, our good times are all gone, and I'm bound for moving on. I'll look for you if I'm ever back this way. 4 strong winds that blow lonely, 7 seas that run high, all those things that don't change, come what may. Well, our good times are all gone, and now I'm bound for moving on. I'll look for you if I'm ever back this way. I'll look for you if I'm ever back this way. Thanks, folks. If you joined late, my name's Corblund, and I probably don't have to convince many of the people watching this, I suspect, that we need to try to stop the coal mining in the eastern slopes of the Rockies. I think we can do it. I'm pretty close to the action on this, and I've seen a lot of change from the first time we started making noise about this a few months ago. The government's definitely listening, and we got to keep the heat on them, because you know they keep doing things to tactically outsmart us, like putting the coal policy back in place, which is good on the surface, but I think they're going to lawyer it to death and let the coal mining companies mine anyway. They're going to try, I think. And I think the consultation process is suspect. Got to keep a real close eye on that, because we got to make sure we have our say. And when they do announce exactly how to have our say, we're going to hit them like a fire hose. And you know, I was really moved. I said this in my last statement, but it was really moving to see people from all across Alberta respond so strongly to this issue, you know, because there's city people and rural people, you know, lots of ranchers and farmers and hunters, as well as the city people, really against this. People who probably voted for the party that's in power now and really don't like it. So that's a powerful thing when you get people across the political spectrum agreeing on something this important, as well as you know, you get the left-wing people, and you got some of the conservative people that voted for these guys, all agreeing on this. And the First Nations folks are affected by this too. And it's really great to see everybody come together on something this important. And I don't know, like, there's a lot of causes and a lot of issues. And as you know, I don't spend a lot of time on that stuff, because I mostly want to focus on changing people's minds with my music and trying to bring them some joy. But this is important, and as far as I'm concerned, this is one of the biggest things I've ever seen in my lifetime, because number one, it affects millions of people's drinking water across all the spectrum, you know, left, right, city, country, First Nations, doesn't matter. You got to drink the water, right? I'm working on a new song actually called "We Gotta Drink the Water, Sir," something like that. But it's not going to be ready for a while, so I'm going to play this one, which I wrote a number of years ago, and seems strangely and eerily appropriate. But yeah, I just want to say congratulations to everybody on all the work they've been doing and all the advocacy and all that stuff, because thankfully we do live in a system, as flawed as it is, that responds to the public, and we still have a democracy of sorts. So keep working. This is going to be a long fight, because these people have a lot of deep pockets, and we just have to outlast them. And the other thing too is, once they get in there, they're not getting out. So this is the time to fight. and this is the goal line stand. So, well, this is my prairie, and this is my home, and I'll make my stand here, and I'll die alone. Well, they can drill and they can mine all my smoldering bones. And this is my prairie, this is my home. My water is poison, my calves are all dead, my children are sick, and the aquifers bled. They want a big coal mine right through Pop's Grove. But this is my prairie, and this is my home. Well, I can't blame the riggers or the boys driving truck and feeding their families and making a buck. But take a close look at the stocks that you own, 'cause this is my prairie and this is my home. Well, I ain't got the money that lawyers can buy. I don't got my own government's laws on my side. But I got this old rifle that my granddaddy owned. And this is my prairie, this is my home. Well, this is my prairie, and this is my home, and I'll make my stand here, and I'll die alone. Well, they can drill and they can mine all my smoldering bones, 'cause this is my prairie, and this is my home. All right, thanks for listening, everybody. Take care and keep the pressure on.
Thank you, Corb. Wow, that was great.
As good as we knew it would be.
Yeah, and that the song that you wrote years ago, strangely prophetic. It's sad that it's so appropriate today. But the prairie is my home too. Like I was born and raised in Edmonton. You?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I moved away, I missed the sky. There's some special, I don't know, it's hard to describe. When you live here and you move away, it's hard to describe to people what it's like. But it grabs you and it has you. And when somebody threatens that, you'll defend it. Take note, Australian coal companies, there's no way you're going to win.
No.
Anyways, let's move along from Corb. We have another brilliant Alberta musician in store for you. His name is Bradley Bischoff. And let me just cue that up. Bradley, take it away.
I was born on this mountain a long time ago, before they knocked down the timber and stripped mine the coal. When you rose in the morning before it was light, to go down in that dark hole and come back up at night. I was born on this mountain's my home, and she holds me and keeps me from worry and woe. Now they took everything that she gave, now they're gone, but I'll die on this mountain, the mountain's my home. I was young on this mountain, but now I am old, and I knew every holler and every cool swimming hole. Till one night I lay down and woke up to find that my childhood was over. I went down in the mine. I was born on this mountain's my home, and she holds me and keeps me from worry and woe. Now they took everything that she gave, now they're gone, but I'll die on this mountain, the mountain's my home. There's a hole in this mountain, it's dark and it's deep, and God only knows all the secret it keeps. There's a chill in the air only miners can feel, and there's ghosts in the tunnels that the company sealed. I was born on this mountain's my home, and she holds me and keeps me from worry and woe. Now they took everything that she gave, now they're gone, but I'll die on this mountain, the mountain's my home. But I'll die on this mountain's my home. When I was a child, my family would travel down to western Kentucky, where my parents were born. There's a backwards old town that's often remembered, so many times that my memories are born. But Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River, where paradise lay? Sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. From the times that we traveled right down the Green River, the abandoned old prison down by Adrie Hill, where the air smelled like snakes and we'd shoot with our pistols, but empty pop bottles is all we would kill. But Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River, where paradise lay? I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. Then the coal company came with the world's largest shovels. They tortured the timber and stripped all the land. They dug for the coal till the land was forsaken, and wrote it all down as the progress of man. Well, Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River, where paradise lay? Sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. And when I die, let my ashes flow down the Green River. Let my soul roll on up to the Rochester Dam. Be halfway to heaven with paradise waiting. Be 5 miles away from wherever I am. So Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay. I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. Thanks, everyone. My name is Bradley Bischoff, and I live in Canmore, Alberta, and I oppose future coal mining on our great eastern slopes. Thank you very much for your time.
You can't get very much more clear than that. How do you really feel? No coal mining on the eastern slopes. That's how he feels.
That's right. That was a good version of a good song.
Yeah, that was
good
great.
cover.
Yes, we enjoyed it. That sent us down a little rabbit hole. We looked at John Denver's version. We looked at John Prine, Johnny Cash. Yeah,
John Prine wrote it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good trip. Moving on, our next musical guest is Over the Moon, and they have a message for you. Here it is.
Hi, we're Over the Moon. Hi.
We're really excited to be here to be part of this incredible cause. Really, it's very near and dear to us because we lived for 9 years southwest of Longview, just north of the proposed mining sites, and it'll affect everyone so much and everything, and we're just glad to help out any way we can. And we can't really give a whole lot of money since this pandemic year, but we can sing some songs and try to help out that way. So we thought our first song we're going to play is one that we wrote it when we were living out there, and it's just basically talks about how we feel about each other. And
Craig was just living in Ontario, was all alone, and then he met me and moved to Alberta, and then he was over the moon. And so was I.
It happened just like that. It wasn't the ad in Auto Trader.
Yeah.
So anyways, this is the song that talks all about how we feel about each other. Are you feeling it, Sue?
Oh yeah.
More than the way I love my morning coffee, more than the thrill I get when I drive too fast, that's how I feel, 'cause I'm over the moon. Tell them about me, Sue.
That's the way I feel when birds are singing, or when I put on a dress and if it's just right, it must be love. I'm over the moon.
And when she smiles at me and sings them old cowboy tunes,
When it plays for me, my heart goes boom, boom, boom.
that's the way we are when we're together.
Just as sweethearts from some old-fashioned tune, like Tarzan and Jane.
We're swinging over the moon. And when she smiles at me and sings them old cowboy tunes,
When she plays for me, my heart goes boom, boom, boom.
that's the way we are when we're together. Just as sweethearts from some old-fashioned tune, like Tarzan and Jane. We're swinging over the moon. So hey, diddle diddle.
Well, tell the cat and the fiddle, we're jumping right over the moon.
Woohoo, Billy Bird.
Thank you.
I'm having a hard time seeing my neck in here.
Seeing your neck.
That's why I went to the
This
Bahamas there,
neck.
just for a short, brief period of time. Well, this is our last song. Short set for us. Oh no, here comes our dog because she.
Go lay down. Go lay down.
You go lay down.
Go lay down. Good girl.
Anyways, this is our last song, and this song's called "Don't Let 'Em." It's all about the mind, and actually some of our friends have taken this song and are getting some video footage, drone footage and stuff, and it's gonna go along with the video and let people know more. More people know about the mine. So, right, Sue?
Yippers.
There's a coyote barking in the distance if you hear it. Better than the train. Anyways. You can see trees for miles from the top of this hill. That old man river winds through here still. This clear mountain water that feeds all life below will be the first thing to perish when they dig for their coal. The surveyors have been here to widen the roads. The dirt paths around here won't carry their load. Tell me, what can we do? What can we say if we let them take the hills of Alberta away? Some will get rich, but who's gonna pay if we let them take the hills of Alberta away? There'll come an army of trucks kicking dust in the air, guided by some lawyers from their big city chairs. It's coal that they want, but not all that they'll take. Then leave us with nothing but the hole that they'll make. Tell me, what can we do? What can we say if we let them take the hills of Alberta away? Some will get rich, but who's gonna pay if we let them take the hills of Alberta away? How can we stand by and let this go on? 1 minute paradise, next one it's gone. So tell me, what can we do?
say if we let them take the hills of Alberta away? Well, some will get rich, but who's gonna pay? If we let them take the hills of Alberta away. Don't let them take the mountains of Alberta away.
Thanks, everybody.
So good.
Yeah, that was and relevant questions. Somebody's gonna get rich, but who's gonna pay? We are all gonna pay, and a couple of people will get rich from destroying our landscape and the water, the drinking water for the prairies. Bad idea. I don't think we should do it.
We have some abandoned oil wells to take care of already, don't we?
Yeah. The AER has gifted us with those, with their infinite wisdom.
So how about abandoned coal mines?
No,
No.
no, thank you. We have enough. Moving on. Let's go to another great Alberta artist, J. Coda Walker. We ask all the musicians if there's like a site for their music or whatever, stuff where you can go and support them. I asked this to Jay, and he's like, well, no, not really. However, I do have this invention, and you can see it in the video. It'll be on his pinky finger. It's the swivel slide for slide guitar. He can use all of his fingers and still have a slide readily available. I don't know if he uses it, but we will post a link. And if you are a blues man and you like slide guitar, but you like to play 5-finger blues, this could be the thing for you. The music's great too. So J. Coda Walker, let's go. He's coming. Here he is.
Time over my shoulder. Ooh, but now I'm putting to you, spreading my sensitivities. When I see someone like you going anywhere that I'm not gonna be, yeah. So you roll, baby, slow you roll, baby, slow you roll. Gone slow. I'll do what I could need you. Oh yeah, my cutie pie. Just a kiss and squeeze it. Please don't go. How am I to get on? Well, I will enjoy the thrill until the view of you is gone. So you roll, baby, slow you roll. You roll. One hot can't think of what to say. Then it breaks my train of thought, watching you walk away. Keep it going.
your defenses of vanity and security. Won't you come see about me? I'll be alone, dancing and you know it, baby. Look, baby, pull us apart. I'll pull us back together with heart, baby. Don't you forget about me. Don't you forget about me. Don't forget about me. Don't you forget about me. As you walk on by, will you call my name? Will you walk away? Will you call my name? As you walk on by, please call my name. You're singing la la la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. We'll see you around, my friends.
We've had such great music for these shows.
It's so good.
Jeremy's going to say a little bit later about how the group behind these shows, there's many people behind these shows. So do you want to thank them now?
Yeah, well,
why don't you?
Let's get into that right now. So, like, we're the Grosvenor, and we're putting on the shows. We get some of the artists, but there's a whole team beyond us, which we've mentioned in the other shows. So we have Christine Berger, Marie Aiken, and Brian Taylor, who, these are people who have been in the industry or around music a lot. And they have contacts. They know lots of people. So I think a big hurdle to booking a show like this is getting past the initial contact. And if you have a personal contact with that person already, that gets you a long ways into getting that person to pay attention to what you're saying and then agreeing that, yeah, that's something I can support and I would like to give my time to. Because let's mention that all of the artists for all of the shows, they're giving their time and their effort freely. All of the proceeds go to the support, the causes that we're supporting. So the first two went to the Pekisco group, and the second two shows went to the No Coal Mines on Nitstapi land.
The first group were the ranchers and their legal challenge.
The ranchers and the legal challenge, which is still ongoing because despite what the Alberta government would have you believe, they are trying to still mine for coal in our headwaters and Rockies. Bad bad idea. We will stop them. And then, so the second two went to the GoFundMe for the Nitz-Tepi, which surpassed their goal, as we said, and we were going to push them even higher. Last time I looked, today's show, we were approaching $1,200. Yeah. So good stuff. Good stuff.
Right. So you've thanked your group.
Yeah.
All right.
Brian Taylor. Did I say Brian Taylor?
You did.
Because he's instrumental in this. Yes.
So did we want to show that video now from Heather McPherson?
Yeah, there's one more video from Heather McPherson that we're going to show that is directly relevant because it talks about Grassy Mountain, which is one of the coal mines that is pushing ahead. And it's kind of special. Like when this first came out, you know, they're like, oh, they revoked the 1976 coal policy. If we just force them to put the 1976 coal policy back in place, everything will be great. But it won't, because there are the categories of land. Category 4, you could coal mine on anyways. There used to be a mine on Grassy Mountain like in the 60s that got shut down because probably it wasn't economic to mine anymore. That is one of the proposals that they're trying to push ahead. Montam Resources, headed by a mediocre white man that thinks he can move mountains because he's been told so, and you know, he's a white guy. He can do what he wants. Fuck that. No, he cannot. We will stop him. They want to push ahead with that. And even if the 1976 coal policy was put back in place, that mine could go ahead. Right now, it's in consultations with the federal government. So if you're going to do anything this week, email our federal environment minister and tell him to stop this. They have the authority. It intrudes on the water. It intrudes on the fishery. You know, they probably don't want to hand Jason Kenney some anti-federal bullshit stuff for his base, but who really cares? Tell them to stop it. Tell them to intrude. Well, they're not intruding. They're exerting their authority on matters that they have the authority on, and they can stop this mine in its tracks. Email Wilkinson and tell him to do it, please.
All right, so we'll hear.
In that
So we'll
vein-
hear Heather McPherson speaking to Parliament about Grassy Mountain.
Yes.
So this
because-
is 4 minutes.
Ooh, which one? It's up here. It's this one. Yes, it's this one. And then I gotta go up here, and I gotta go. No, I don't. Just 1 second. This is a trick of sharing stuff.
Mr. Speaker, Albertans are overwhelmingly opposed to this project and any other coal projects that would open up the eastern slopes for coal exploration or development. At least 28 municipalities, including the 4 largest cities in Alberta, have expressed grave concerns over potential expansion of coal mining in Alberta. An online group called Protect Alberta's Rockies and Headwaters has swelled to more than 36,000 members in only a few months. Over 100,000 Albertans have signed petitions to stop open pit coal mining in the Rockies. And in fact, just this week, I tabled a petition from Latasha Caffrobe, a member of the Blackfoot Confederacy, with over 18,000 signatures urging this government to act to protect our Alberta environment from the massive and cumulative impacts of open pit coal mining. And this is not, or it should not be, a partisan issue. And while I am the only Alberta Member of Parliament prepared to stand against the UCP government on this issue, Albertans speaking out against the disastrous decision to rescind the 1976 coal policy and the subsequent selling off of mining rights to the eastern slopes have come from all sectors, all regions, and all political affiliations. Mr. Speaker, open pit coal mining is a sunsetting industry with extremely limited potential to provide economic benefits for Albertans and extremely high potential to cost Albertans in environmental cleanup, lost jobs, and economic growth in industries like tourism, farming, and ranching. Albertans are already facing extraordinary cleanup costs associated with abandoned oil and gas wells. Coal mining on the eastern slopes promises a second costly environmental reclamation liability. In fact, the only ones who will benefit from this mine project will be Gina Rinehart, the Australian billionaire who owns Banga Mines. And I can tell you, Mr. Speaker, neither Miss Rinehart nor any of the mining executives from Banga Mines will be the ones living downstream of this project. It will not be their water supply at risk. It will not be their environment that is irreparably damaged, and it certainly won't be their livelihoods that are destroyed. Mr. Speaker, the people who stand to lose the most if the federal government approves this project will be the Canadians who live downstream. The Grassy Mountain Coal Project threatens the water supply for much of southern Alberta, including drinking water and irrigation water. I've spoken with many farmers and ranchers in the area. One rancher who irrigates his property via the Old Man River, Mr. Holtman, spoke to me of his deep concerns. He told me that he's lost all trust that the government of Alberta will protect him and his ranch. He is worried about what will happen if the water that he and his neighbors depend upon for their livelihoods becomes poisoned. And it's not just Albertans, Mr. Speaker, who will be impacted. If the Grassy Mountain project goes ahead, it will open the door to further projects in the eastern slopes, which together threaten both the South and North Saskatchewan River basins, including the Old Man, Bow, Red Deer, and North Saskatchewan rivers. We have already seen what devastating impacts of open pit mining in BC, where the leaching of selenium and other pollutants into watersheds has caused massive damage, devastating fish habitat and species at risk. Mr. Speaker, on behalf of my constituents, on behalf of the Indigenous communities who were not adequately consulted, on behalf of all Albertans who cherish our Rocky Mountains and the water and wildlife within, I'm urging this government to reject the Grassy Mountain Coal Project and all subsequent open pit coal mining on the eastern slopes of the Rocky Mountains. Can we count on this government to do the right thing and stop this dangerous and destructive project?
Can we? That remains to be seen. Hopefully we can.
We will.
Well, with or without the federal government, we'll win. Be easier if they would just step in and fix it. Either way, we're fighting. We will continue to fight. Threaten me. Maybe I'll go to defend myself. Threaten my way of life. I'll go to war. That's just pretty much the way it is. Anyways, let's move along. Something a little lighter. T. Buckley, what do you have to say about the issue?
Evening, everybody. I'm T. Buckley. It's a song of mine called Song Unbroken. Haters try to sell you words with no harmony. Hustlers try to move you, rhythm with no melody. Jester wears the crown, tall tales and sleight of hand. The preacher rants to lost souls what the Lord above commands. But you sing like an angel, you cry sweet words unspoken, even under the weight of the world. You are a song unbroken. And the politicians holler to keep their hands upon the reins. Working man's got the blues, hard times and a lost wage. And He never breaks his meter, despite the words upon the page. Plastic puppet anchor with a smile on his face. But you sing like an angel. You cry sweet words unspoken, even under the weight of the world. You are a song unbroken, and I'm writing this same groove again, complacent and contrived, with a candle burning at both ends, such a roller coaster ride. But you smile like a sunbeam, clear as church bells chime, and you breathe new life into every six-string story rhyme. Yeah, you sing like an angel. You cry sweet words unspoken, even under the weight of the world. You are a song unbroken, even under the weight of the world. You are a song unbroken.
All right. Thanks, everyone. All right. Well, I know we're all us artists have, sort of congregated around a common cause here for this show, and yeah, pleased to be part of this bill, and part of a group of folks that are trying to raise awareness about an important issue for sure. I grew up I'm born and raised in Calgary, Alberta, of course, and still living here just north of the Bow River. And while I maybe don't come from like a fishing, hunting, ranching background, I have spent a lot of time in the mountains, exploring, hiking, all those kinds of things, and we are so fortunate to have so many beautiful, pristine, natural areas around us, really, it's a little bit scary to think that some of these spots might be potentially subjected to some pretty heavy resource extraction and open pit coal mining. I know it's been a tough year, a tough time for the last while economically for us as a province. I know it's been hard on a lot of folks economically for sure, but I don't think the short-term economic gains we might see from open pit coal mining would outweigh sort of the detriment that it would do, to our natural spaces in the long term. So that's my piece. I've said my piece. And there's obviously more information that's been given to you on this stream, and SaveTheMountains.com I know is a good place to go to get informed and see what these folks are doing to push back against these policy changes. So yeah, check it out, and let's all do the best we can to protect these natural spaces that are so important to us and so important to this province. And I guess on that note, I'll finish with a tune that I wrote about that exact thing. Some of the beautiful spaces that we have
here in Alberta. This one's called Northern Country Soul. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Prairie grasses, campfire ashes, embers burning through the night, telling stories, reliving glories, the full moon hanging in the sky. A picture painted by a song, summer day that stayed so long. She blessed us with an evening glow that lights up your northern country soul. Leaving jet streams, wildest dreams, living my life on a line. My soul is aching, this day is breaking, and I gotta get back to where I'll find that picture painted by a song. In her arms where I belong. She knows no matter where I go, I walk with my northern country soul.
Go ahead.
So good. Music can bring up lots of emotions. So while Jeremy's tearing up, it's because we were talking about why we're doing this and why artists are giving their art to us and why are we here. So we don't want to ramble on camera, but
maybe in 2 weeks.
But we gather here to, for me, share information, take comfort in what music gives us, knows that we are all together for all the things that we love and think are valuable. And I feel like things are changing. If Mayor Snodgrass from High River, he was one of the first politicians that I heard said that when you talk about poisoning water, then you just need to stop. And I get frustrated because these processes are so complicated and we have to get people to explain to us where we're at. Why can't we just start with don't poison the water that we drink and that we grow food with and that other people besides humans also need? Like, why don't we start with that and then figure things out? So
yeah. Well, and then who gets to stand up and oppose it? We all do. We get some stars to speak on our behalf, but we are all stars. we all get to speak.
So we just want everyone to feel like you can do something and just do whatever you feel like you can do, because pressure is coming from so many places to make this stop. Not only stop, but we need to protect this so that we don't have to spend our time doing this, because we have productive things to do. We don't want to always fight stuff. So I think this can be a turning point. So I feel great optimism, actually. So thank you for being here. Thank you so much to all our artists and all the organizers and all of you for being here. We have one last musical segment, and that'll be the end of tonight's show.
And I'm just gonna say some names to add to that. So thank you, Greg Prieden. Thank you, Juanita Fisher. Thank you, Colton Vezi. Thank you, Christine Berger, Brian Taylor, Marie Aiken. Those are the three that help us put on the shows. Thank you, Emily Triggs, Jesse Roper, Waldo Poblano, Corblend. Thank you, Watchdog Management. They helped out. Bradley Bischoff, Latasha Kaffrobe, and the Liz Steppy people. Thank you to Over the Moon, J. Coda Walker, T. Buckley. Thank you to Side Door and GoFundMe for helping. And thank you to our last performer, Slow Leaves. And with that, let's check out what Slow Leaves has done for us.
Hi there, my name's Grant. I make music as Slow Leaves, and I'm really happy to be here to play some songs for you. I'm here to help raise money for those landowners fighting a long legal battle to prevent open pit coal mining on the east slopes of the Rockies. I don't have a lot of political songs. I don't write political songs really, but so I thought I'd share some newer songs. Here's one called Feel It Too. And please donate if you can.
I wanna make you feel, I wanna feel it too. All of your lovers wrapped under covers, hoping to feel brand new. Wake when the morning comes, hoping it all comes true. All of my woes are drops in the ocean, turning the water blue. I wanna hear you sing, I wanna sing it too. All of the songs I learned from my mother, humming them out of tune. I want a lover, I want another, someone to get me through. Take what you want, but don't leave me lonely. I wanna be renewed.
Thank you. Here's a song called Stick Around.
Well, the gate's got a broken latch, a roof that needs another patch. When I close the door, might not come back, I'll fade away. And if I've lost what I hope to find, hit the light on the closing sign. I'd trade it all for a clever rhyme. Stick around if you have the time. Clock, 'cause I couldn't sleep. Windows up just to feel the breeze. I hear a moth scratching at the screen. I float away. And here I wait for the coming storm. I wait for nothing and nothing comes. I won't bore you with what went wrong. I wrote it down in another song. I look ahead, more hills to climb. I come up short almost every time. In a winter coat with a nursery rhyme, I hide away. I held your hand and you held the door. Is this place worth fighting for? I want it all and a little more. Stick around. I watch the wind move across the lawn. I look around, but the feeling's gone. I'd lose my head if it weren't held on. Stick around.
Thank you. And I think I have time for one more song perhaps, but please donate if you can. Thanks again. This is called Enough About Me. Lines are drawn. I'm on one side with you, feeling strong. On the edge of a mountain view, room for new guests. Scented candles are flickering in the basement. Falling tiles and dripping drains, enough about me. What about you? What about you? Enough about me. Save a dog, you might earn a friend's reward. Fall in love, earn a trip to the second ward. I don't need this. In my head comes a ringing out of cheapness. Dig a hole for crawling out. Enough about me.
What about you? What about you? Enough about me. Feeling lazy, just about to drop out of you. It won't faze me if that never appealed to you. I'm without, even though my hands are full. It's about when to push and when to pull. Enough about me. What about you? What about you? Enough about me. Enough about me. What about you? What about you? Enough about me. Thanks for having me. Take care.
Slow Leaves, outstanding in his field.
That was a good way to end it.
Yeah. So good. So I guess, yeah, we are at the end of the show. What to do going forward? You should, as always, write any politician at any level of government you feel like reaching out to and tell them how you feel about this and get them to act on your behalf. That's just one basic first thing to do.
Yeah, even municipalities can get involved.
Mhm.
Edmonton City Council got involved.
What are we, like 28 of the cities and towns in Alberta have voiced their opposition. So yeah, you speak out to anybody and get them to do the right thing.
All right,
Yeah,
let's wrap her up.
sure. I had other thoughts, but I can't gather them right now. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Same place. It'll be on YouTube. There's always a unique link to the next show. The best place to find out about the next show is thegroovner.com. It'll go up there, or on the Protect Alberta's Rockies and Headwaters Facebook page. That's the first place it gets announced, and you can find out who's playing and when it. Well, you know when it is. It's going to be at 7 p.m. on every second Saturday. But who's gonna play and what's going on? So.
And I have one final question. We've heard from some visual artists who are interested in participating in these. So if you have ideas about how you as a visual artist, or if you as a viewer, what would you like to see? Like I've been to shows where an artist is doing something live, but we just check in on them throughout the show. That was the one idea I had. So if you have any ideas about that, please contact the Groovener. You'll find us.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we should wrap her up though.
Thegroovner.com. An idea with that would be, like, it doesn't even have to be during the show, because you've got what, 2.5 hours to do that. You could do it over weeks. You could film yourself and
oh yeah,
condense it into a 10-minute block that we could play during the show.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so
please,
there you go.
if that tweaks your interest, get a hold of the Groovener.
Good idea.
See you guys in 2 weeks. Thank you for coming.
Mountains, not mines.
Woo!